Coco Gauff shows vulnerability, says she kind of broke down after 64-minute US Open demolition by Naomi Osaka. Coco Gauff shared a vulnerable moment with her team after a 64-minute demolition by Naomi Osaka ended her US Open campaign. The 2022 champion admitted she kind of broke down before eventually focusing on the positives of her run to the fourth round at Flushing Meadows.Gauff, who has struggled to find her rhythm since winning the French Open crown in June, lost 3-6, 2-6 against Osaka in the round of 16. The American made 33 unforced errors to Osaka's 12. I think that trying to be more positive. After the match, I was really disappointed, Gauff said. Kind of broke down to my team. Then hearing their perspectives and everything, it definitely is a lot of positive things. I think if I kept the way I was going in Cincinnati to here, I would have been out the first round. So I think where my serve started from the start of the tournament to today was a big improvement. I feel like now I just have to get everything to work together. But, yeah, I knew going in it was going to be a tough tournament for me. Did I feel like I had a lot of confidence after my last match? Yeah, definitely. I think that was a big confidence booster. So today feels more disappointing, I think, than maybe it would have felt losing in the first or second round. The 2025 US Open has been a roller coaster of emotions for Gauff, who had earlier broken down in tears during her second-round match against Donna Vekic. For sure it was not the level that I wanted to bring, but it is a step in the right direction I feel, and I think emotionally how much this week was, I think today I just stepped in, and I maybe was a little bit empty. She forced me to earn every point out there today, Gauff said. Gauff capped off a topsy-turvy Grand Slam season in 2025. She made the quarters in the Australian Open, before beating Aryna Sabalenka to claim her second career slam in Paris. However, she struggled to hold on to the momentum on grass, where she suffered a round 1 exit at Wimbledon, a second such instance in London having earlier incurred the same in 2023. The bright lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium had barely dimmed when Coco Gauff's world felt like it had been turned upside down. The scoreline said it all, 6-1, 6-2. 64 minutes. That was all it took for Naomi Osaka, a 4-time Grand Slam champion searching for her own resurgence, to dismantle one of the brightest stars of the next generation. The match, billed as a clash of eras and temperaments, Coco's electric charisma versus Osaka's cool, quiet determination, ended not in a fight-to-the-finish thriller, but in a masterclass that left Gauff stunned. And for the first time in her young but decorated career, Gauff admitted that she kind of broke down. "I'm not gonna lie, it hurt," she said in the press room afterward, her voice softer than usual. The 20-year-old, who just last year hoisted the US Open trophy in a career-defining breakthrough, had tears lingering in her eyes as she leaned forward on the desk. "I went back to the locker room and just kind of broke down. I didn't expect to feel this way, but that loss, it really got to me. This wasn't the Coco Gauff fans we're used to seeing. Normally, she's all grit and resilience, a teenager turned Grand Slam champion whose maturity and poise belie her age. She has been a symbol of strength, a generational talent carrying the hopes of American tennis. Yet here she was, shoulders heavy, stripped of the armor she's worn so well, willing to share her humanity. A night that felt different. The energy in the stadium before the match was electric, the kind of crackling anticipation reserved for heavyweight battles. The Gauff-Osaka narrative practically wrote itself. Coco, the reigning US Open champion, the future of tennis, facing Osaka, the enigmatic star who'd been away from the game for much of the past 2 years, balancing motherhood, mental health battles, and her own desire to reignite the fire that once made her unbeatable. For Gauff, this was supposed to be another stepping stone, a chance to solidify her dominance on hard courts, especially in New York where her athleticism and shot-making had dazzled fans. Instead, she ran into a wall of precision and power. From the very first game, Osaka was locked in. The Japanese star, dressed in a sleek lavender kit, looked like the Osaka of old, calm, clinical, and devastating from the baseline. Her forehand was blistering, her serve unreturnable. Gauff tried everything from slicing the ball low to stepping inside the baseline, but Osaka anticipated it all. The match lasted just over an hour, but it felt even shorter. Each rally was like a burst of fireworks, beautiful but fleeting, ending almost always with Osaka dictating play. I couldn't find a way in, Gauff admitted later. I felt like I was just reacting, not playing my game. And against Naomi, if you do that, it's over. The weight of expectation. When Gauff won the US Open in 2024, she was hailed as the next great American champion. She was only 19 at the time, and the comparisons to Serena and Venus Williams became louder than ever. She handled it with grace, smiling through interviews and always giving thoughtful answers. But expectation is a tricky burden, even for someone as composed as Coco. Last year felt like a dream, she said. Coming back here as the defending champion, I thought I was ready for the pressure, but maybe I wasn't. I don't know. It's a lot. Her words echoed a truth that many forget. Gauff is still just 20 years old. She spent nearly half her life in the spotlight, breaking records as the youngest qualifier in Wimbledon history at 15, capturing the world's attention with her fearless game and radiant personality. And yet, even for someone so seasoned, nights like this one can unravel confidence in ways that linger. For Osaka, meanwhile, this match felt like a redemption story. She had spent much of the last 2 years away from competition, prioritizing her mental health and becoming a mother to her daughter, Shai. Returning to the US Open, a tournament she'd won twice before, was emotional. I wanted to prove to myself that I could still play at this level, Osaka said afterward, her face lighting up with a smile not seen in a long time. The vulnerability of champions. In sports, vulnerability often feels like weakness. The world celebrates grit, resilience, the ability to shake it off, and move on to the next point. But champions know the truth. The path to greatness is littered with heartbreak. Gauff's tears weren't a sign of fragility but of passion, of what this sport means to her. I love tennis, she said, voice cracking. That's why it hurts so much. Because I care. And I know I didn't show my best today. Those words resonated deeply with fans. Social media, usually a harsh landscape for athletes, turned into a wave of support. Hashtags like #WeLoveYouCoco and #FutureIsBright trended within hours of her post-match press conference. Former players chimed in too. Billie Jean King tweeted, "We've all been there, Coco. Losses like these can build champions if you let them. Proud of you." Even Osaka, ever gracious in victory, spoke about Gauff with admiration. She's an incredible player and person. This match doesn't define her. I know she'll come back stronger. She always does. The anatomy of a breakdown. Behind the curtain of professional sports lies a mental toll that fans rarely see. After the match, Gauff described what happened when she left the court.